Boo, boo, boo. Okay, we are live, my friends. We are fantastic. We are here. Yeah. Hope you're doing great. Are we really live? Yeah, we are live. Says excellent connection. All right, that's super. Need to share the stream on my other channel and yeah, Ukpuka. Hi, good evening. Hope you're doing great. How are you today? Hopefully you're fine. And then how's the day? Yeah, I'm doing absolutely good. Thomas Morehouse, hi. Hi. Beamless to hi. Dole Hilney, hi. Yeah, just wanna share my stream where on my main channel, and that's it. Well, did you? Yeah. I like shorts. Like shirts. Like them a lot. I need the link for my Twitch. How are you today, guys? Hello from Manhattan. Oh. Do you have your own apartment there, or you just walk in there in Manhattan? Because, like, it's very expensive. Manhattan. I wonder the rent price for the average, like, 2-bedroom apartment. There's what's up with Ursa Major? What's the Ursa Major? You think any of that idiots are wondering their tanks went, why they had to fill out numbers with the DPRK soldiers? Awesome Toaster, I misunderstood it. DPRK, you mean North Korean soldiers or what? They're not fighting, I guess, any longer out there. At least I haven't heard about those. Deployed on Ukrainian front lines. 40 watches, thank you, Swain. And hello, Swain, how are you doing? Yeah, in the Nance Parade, Maze Parade, yeah. It's really hard to tell. Do you think Fedorov or Budanov could take over from Zelensky, or would they be too busy? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's definitely hard to say. Look. Oh, Richard, thank you so much for your awesome support. Greetings to UK. I hope you don't get accused of corruption for accepting this. That's very funny. No. It's not a corruption. We are not into the budget, We are not controlling money of other people in the country, yeah? So we don't have the access there. Some people may say sadly, but yeah, thank you so much, Richard, for your generosity. Greetings to UK, and that's awesome. 10 pounds. Thank you. Of the United Kingdom. Thank you. I've landslided in Germany. I pay 400 rents, whole house with 140 square meters. Really, that cheap? Where do you live? Like, what kind of the house is that? 400 euros for the whole house? Floors high. I'm good, thank you, Swain. Okay, thank you, Swain, for joining on Twitch as well. Vincent, hi. How are you doing? So about Fedorov and Budanov, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about those guys. I know that like there should be some of the change, I guess, at this stage already. We're already, like, it's too much, I think, as for me. Like, it's understandable that everything there in the top is corrupt. And Russia is using this propaganda all the way. Like this interview to Tucker Carlson, that previous stupid Mendel a press secretary of freaking Zelensky. It's also, by the way, the fault of Zelensky, because he hired people like Donald Trump hired them for his circle, yeah, for his White House. Oh, this guy looks nice, like Pete Hegseth. Yeah, he looks like some sort of the nice guy, soldier, nice haircut. Let's make him a minister of war. The same was for Zelensky. Is actually a populist. He was and he is, and that is his fault that he put this secretary, his personal secretary Mendel, and yeah, it was crazy. Like half of what she said is the pure Russian propaganda, like Solovyov Russian narratives, or Peskov usually says that. So about some drug addict shit, about some of the Goebbels stuff. Like it is not. It's like kindergarten propaganda. But some of stuff like 50-50, yeah, 50% truthful accusations, 50% some bullshit and propaganda. And that's how smart Russian propaganda works, unfortunately. Yeah. Completely unlaundered doors. Thank you so much, Stuart Taylor, I'm sorry. Stuart Taylor. 1955. Are you from 1955? I mean, you was born back then? My mother was also born in... No. My mother was born in 1965. Thank you so much for support. Nice logo, by the way. I like... By the way, I have a logo. I have a new logo for the mic. It came today. Like, it's damn cheap. I think it's like $10 or something. You see, it's the new logo for the channel, and I have this logo. It has magnets on the back, and I can swap. So for this channel, I have this kind of logo. Yeah, also magnets, but it's the different producer. This one was expensive, but the quality is better. Yeah, I need to clean it a little. And here is also a couple of magnets, and I can swap them. I can put like this. Oh, it's unfocused. Yeah, I understand. So this one is like, you understand what is here, yeah? On this logo, it's understandable that it's a one piece thing. And here it's like, what the hell is there? I need to do like this, because camera is focusing on my face. So yeah, some style. But probably I'm gonna use a different microphone after all. So yeah, very easy to swap. Boring. What, Golden? What? Looks good, yeah. I know, I just made this logo via ChatGPT. Like this, very simple one. Very simple. Like some Wi-Fi, like this antenna, beam, some bird and Ukrainian symbol and round the Ukrainian flag. So like very easy to read, I guess. Yeah, anyways, this is also nice. I like it. It's like the symbol of revolution. Of like in Nepal, guys were there with One Piece. I haven't really watched anime of One Piece, maybe a couple of the series. We have moped outside. So this one I like. I like it as a Jolly Roger style. And also it's like behind, it's like the fight or some let's say argument against control. Yeah, so I don't like control. I don't like corporations. I don't like politicians in general. So it's like my attitude here. So it's just now we understand how bad Zelensky is, or what? Well, some people just now understand. Some people understood before. I didn't say like lots about the Zelensky before. Like I recorded video about corruption. I think maybe at least 10 of the videos about corruption are out there on my channel. If you put Denys Davydov corruption. So I said about the topic, and I also told about people who were involved close to Zelensky in the schemes. But I don't really want to hurt Ukraine that much. So yeah, Mr. Brit, see you. I've never heard that term. There in Germany is rent so cheap. Yeah, where in Germany the rent is so cheap. What is the news with Hunter virus? We can check. We can check the ground news. Maybe they have this. Ground news. I don't think it's gonna be a pandemic or something. Yeah, and Hunter virus before it was on top. Now it's here. So what we have? Spain reports a new Hunter virus case in passenger evacuated from cruise ship as outbreak grows to 11 now. 11. Okay. I need to check out this map. The map is crazy. Uh, did they update? Like the map? What? The outbreak Hunter virus. What is this? What is the Hunter virus symptoms? Come on. They don't show like what is happening here, like stupid map. Really stupid one. So I think it's better to check ground news. Hunter virus is not COVID, but come mongering risks triggering post-COVID anxiety. Well, to prevent hantavirus transmission, World Health Organization recommends isolation for 6 weeks. Yeah, come on. Hantavirus testing might be useful for people without symptoms. This is 28 sources. Dutch hospitals quarantines 12 over breach of hantavirus protocol. Talent steps up hantavirus. Like, there is some sort of the shit happening. 2 Maryland residents monitored for potential hantavirus exposure, health officials say. No sign of larger hantavirus outbreak, says United Nations Health Agency. Good news. World Health Organization chief says work not over after evacuation of hantavirus stricken cruise ship. World Health Organization cautiously optimistic over hantavirus as more cases still possible. So, I don't think it's gonna be an outbreak or something. Looks like Naboo are going to be busy. Yeah, they are very busy. Hell, not that COVID X2, yeah. Remember then it had COVID, it was home for... remember then I had COVID, I was home for 8 weeks straight from school. Oh. I live alone, I didn't want another pandemic. Yeah, it's terrible. Regards from a fellow German parachutist. Oh, parachutist, mister. That's crazy. I jumped like 3 times and I was scared as hell. Every time I jumped, it was an interesting experience. Gotta say, I hope I can meet you someday, man. Been watching since the first week. Jeff, I haven't been posted for the first week. I started posting at the very end of April. Well, let's say 1st of May, okay? So a little bit more than 4 years I'm posting on the main channel, so... But not from the day one. I was like consuming the information all of those initial couple of months. Wow, interesting. We have this article from CNN 13 hours ago. A Russian ship sank in mysterious circumstances. It may be carrying submarine nuclear reactors to North Korea. This one. Cartagena, Spain. A Russian cargo ship likely carrying 2 nuclear reactors for submarines, possibly destined for North Korea, suffered a series of explosions and sank in unexpected circumstances about 60 miles off the coast of Spain. I think it was a long time ago. The CNN investigation has found. The extraordinary fate of Ursa Major has been shrouded in the secrecy since it sank in December 23, 2024. I remember as it happened like yesterday, honestly, 2 years ago, 1.5. But it may mark a rare and high-risk stakes in investigation made by Western military to prevent Russia from sending an upgrade in nuclear technology to a key ally, North Korea. CNN reported suggest. The ship set sail just 2 months after Kim Jong-un had sent troops to assist Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. A flurry of recent military activity around the remains has deepened the mystery around its cargo and destination. Well, back then I heard about the same story, but now they say again. United States nuclear sniffer aircraft have flown over the sunken ship twice in the past year, according to public flight data. And its wreckage has also visited a week after it sank by a suspected Russian spy ship, which set off 4 further explosions, according to a source familiar with the Spanish investigation. Interesting. So Russians decided to kaput the vessel, like completely, or what? Or they decided to break into the vessel and to take those reactors. The Spanish government has said little on releasing a statement on February 23rd. After pressure from opposition lawmakers, it confirmed that the ship's Russian captain had told Spanish investigators that Ursa Major was carrying components for 2 nuclear reactors, similar to those used in submarines. That he was unsure if they were loaded with nuclear fuel. The series of events which led the Ursa Major to sink to the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea remains unclear. It may have involved the use of the rare type of torpedo to breach the ship's hull, according to the Spanish investigation, as described by some of the familiar with the context source. The incident occurred in the closing days week of Joe Biden's presidency, when the war in Ukraine was peaking in Moscow's favor, and there was a strong United States desire not to directly escalate with Moscow. Ursa Major, also known as Sparta III and veteran of Russian military campaign in Syria, is the veteran of Russian military campaign in Syria, so it was used for transportation to Syria, where it was used to evacuate Russian equipment docked in the fuel port of Ust-Luga. That was kaputted recently in the Gulf of Finland on December the 2nd, before moving to a container facility in St. Petersburg docks. The ship's public manifest said it was bound Vladivostok in Russia's Far East. Then it departed on December 11th, carrying 2 large manhole covers, 129 empty shipping containers, and 2 large Liebherr cranes. In October that year, its owner, the state-linked Oboron Logistics, said in a statement that their ship has been licensed to carry nuclear material, so it was possible. Timeless video footage of Ursa Major's loading at Ust-Luga, analyzed by CNN, shows containers being put inside the hull, with the gap left below where the manhole covers would later sit. It's interesting. What is the point of bringing up old news, a slow news day? No, now they have like the real people saying that it was carrying. And we have the interview with the captain. Surviving crew members evacuated a lifeboat. Maritime rescue authorities insisted they might conduct rescue operation. We have this map. Well, anyway, so tell about it. The source familiar with the investigation said Russian captain named Igor Anisimov believed that he would be diverted to North Korean port of reason to deliver 2 reactors. So he said that we were delivering 2 reactors. The Spanish investigation analyzed this the unlikely course of the... So the vessel was kaputted, not to let it to South Korea, you see. Some details of the Spanish investigation into incidents are reported first the local... Well, it's interesting that Russia sent its spy ship. The United States military has also shown the interest in the area, twice sending the rare and sophisticated nuke sniffer. Possible sharing nuclear secrets. Yeah, it's like made from plasticine, this submarine they presented. Is it really real? Like, it's not made by AI. Those are the real photos that Kim Jong-un presented, but come on, brown submarine? Maybe waiting for the paint? Maybe it's the primer, you know? Can't even order manhole covers these days. Yeah. Topsa Volcano batch is the best. Well, I like Kaboom more, but Topsa Volcano is also good. It's my idea. I don't like my own like face badge. It's kind of silly, but the rest are fine. The rest are good. Nobody expects Spanish Inquisition. Corrosion primer. Maybe, mister, maybe. Right, yellow submarine. Okay. What Donny says? What Donny says? Okay, let's listen to Mr. Donny.
Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. They will not have a nuclear weapon. They know that. They've agreed to that. And then that's not what they said to me when it came to pay. We don't play games. They're not going to have a nuclear weapon.
So somehow they agreed to that, he said. Like, they agreed to them not have a nuclear weapon. And now it seems like someone promised him, okay, Donny, we agree on that, for us not to have nuclear weapons, like someone from Iran. But at the same time, then there was the time for the deal. They say, no, Donny, get lost. RGC is doing the job and get, like, screw you with your demands. Simple as that. It seems like. So they negotiated with someone who doesn't have power in the country right now. Someone needs to make their mind up. Yeah. Orange face, white lips. Yeah. He is like that. The defense secretary is getting grilled by Congress right now. Really? Is it online? Happening online? The defense secretary. Is there a defense secretary? Come on. It's the war secretary. Secretary of War. Congress. Live. Is it happening now?
That created an immediate political advantage for the Republican side in order to be able to shove circuit court nominees into Democrat seats. But
Goes nuclear
then
and
the
Senate
winds changed,
bypassing. Or...
and the next thing you know, Republicans are looking around for a blue slip and finding that, oh no, we killed it. the net result,
Is it happening now?
the politics balance out.
Is it live? It's Senate. I don't know. Maybe this Senate, not in Congress, but Senate.
To evacuate United States personnel, and Iran struck more than 200 structures and equipment at 16.
Art of the deal, yeah.
So, Secretary, can you just reassure us that
This
this was
Spain
all
side.
foreseen and part of the plan, or can you
I'm sure they have now. Yeah, they have it here.
FBI, DEA, ATF, and the U.S. Marshal Service need to protect their core missions, ensuring the safety, security, and rights of the American people. I
Twitch
also
is
look
faster
forward to
than YouTube,
continuing
yeah,
to work with
for
you
latency,
to
yes.
ensure oversight and accountability regarding the new FBI headquarters and making sure that it meets the mission and security
Senator Van
requirements
Hollen.
of the FBI.
Van
And I
Helen.
welcome all the witnesses today as we recognize
Sounds Dutch.
key members of our American law enforcement family during National Police Week. I
Van
look
Helen,
forward to
yeah.
hearing about the various budget
Like this
requests.
band.
We should acknowledge that we are not gathered here
Rock
cheering
and roll, yeah.
at a normal time, because what we are learning about what's happening at the FBI is anything but normal. Director Patel, as you ask for more taxpayer resources, we cannot look away from the credible, extremely troubling reports about your misconduct at the FBI.
It's
All
it's
four
good.
of you hold positions
Good that they call it like that, like directly. But it's kind of boring to listen to them. Come on. Nothing might change. Nothing will change. Like about Donald Trump, we may at least laugh about him. Yeah, about Donny. There is some of the satire about his appearance. They're all getting grilled. Yeah, in one way, but in reality, what does it change? Okay, Putin stated that today Russia conducted a launch of Sarmat. Oh, just yesterday we saw with you Sarmat mobiles, and some people ask whether they exist. Yeah, you see, Sarmat, the world's most powerful missile system. The missile can travel up to 35,000 kilometers and can be equipped with a clear warhead. Thank you for the tip, Anonymous. Thank you. 35,000 kilometers. Yeah, almost around the Earth. Attention, an order being received.
Есть приказ.
Damn, it's loud.
Подготовиться к совместным действиям.
Ready for joint action.
Готов. Проконтролировать правильность набора.
Uh,
Уверен. Внимание, расчет. Вот.
Attention, unit input.
Приказ введен.
Those monitors and everything of that is like from 90s at least, maybe 80s, and the phone, you know, with the dial. That one. Putin likes those kind of the phones here and there. Have you used those phones in your life? Greetings we have. This volume is volume. I think volume is okay. Monitor looks like Windows pane. Yeah. I wonder about the size of Sarmat missile rocket. I think Americans have Millennium 3, right, as the competitor. They're also testing it sometimes. There's some energy, yeah. I think this one is ultra capable.
Внимание, расчет. Получен приказ.
Есть приказ.
Подготовиться к совместным действиям.
Совместным действием готов.
Проконтролировать правильность набора.
Ракетный полк, rocket regiment. Some sort of the electronic scheme, or electrical even, not electronic even, yeah, or electronic. What the hell is happening here? Well, anyways, they have missile.
Набор верен.
I wonder if they're underground, like deep underground, as they should be, because those launching spots, according to regulations, requirements, they should be protected. I think in their case, they are underground. As Jake Bro said also, he went underground, sitting there for a long time. It's when the phones that need step relays. Yeah, how we call those phones? Phones that need step relays, like those. I had this kind of the phone when I was really young. In our apartment, we had those from before my time, Anakin. Okay, I used this one. It was kind of fun. You need some time to dial it. I think they can monitor 4 different rockets or silos. Maybe. It's very hard to intercept because it releases several of the warheads, not just a single one, and try to shut them down. It's very, very difficult. So missile itself should be to be studied in Moscow. No, I think they have nuclear weapons. I think capable nuclear missiles and nuclear warheads. I don't believe in this information that Russian nuclear arms are just a hoax. I don't think so. We should take them seriously to not, underestimate the enemy. On the monitor left, 4 different things. North Korea is low dangerous. Yeah, Russia too, I think it's dangerous. And North Korea. What about Donny? What about Don? Would you send a National Guard or ICE to voting locations in November? Trump, you know what? I'll do anything necessary to make sure we have a honest election. He wants to rename ICE for nice or something. That's the new hoax. I will not play this clip because it's helicopter in the background with auxiliary power unit. Wannabe fascist dictator says, what now? Yeah. If elections aren't honest, then how did he win it? Yeah, by the way, yeah. If elections are fraud, it's a very interesting situation. Yeah, very interesting. So then he was a president. He lost the elections of 2020. But he was in power, so he created this fraud scheme, that is what he says, for him to lose the elections, right? Because he was in power. And somehow fraud elections happen. But under Biden, he won. He won in fair play. Swain, thank you so much. Geroim Slava, thank you. And Slava Ukraine. Greetings to Norway. Thank you for your continued support. I hope you're doing great, Swain. I hope you're doing good. Thank you again so much. Was that Borat Trump? Borat Trump. He needed to call his one of the sounds Borat, just for fun. Instead, he called Baron. Oh, about ballroom. The most important thing is the ballroom, guys. We have a ballroom that's under budget. It's going up right there. I've doubled the size of it. Even more bigger, because we obviously need that. From what size did he double that ballroom? From what? What? The price doubled? Reporter says. I doubled the size of it, you dumb person. You're not smart person. No, this is meltdown complete. I want to listen. Yeah, it's with the engine, but it should sound funny.
So what happened is we have a ballroom that's under budget. It's going up right here. I've doubled the size of it because we obviously need that. And we're right now on budget, under budget, and ahead of schedule. I doubled the size of it, you dumb person. It's double the size. You are not a smart person.
hilarious. Well, he said, yeah, like, I'm not a lawyer of Donald Trump, I'm not his advocate, but he said like two times that it's under budget. Like in his sentence, he said 2 times, but because there is the freaking helicopter with auxiliary power unit roaring on the background, reporters didn't hear what he said. And they asked him once again, you doubled the price or what? You doubled the cost? And he is like, you stupid dumb person. You're not smart person. Oh my God, can someone strike him down already? I think he was saying something about shooting today, or, well, we're gonna see it in the news, I guess. Oh, Trump. As soon as the war is over, which will not be long. Okay, he again promises not long war. Again and again and again and again. You're gonna see the golden age. I thought we already in golden age of America. Come on. We need to wait for the war to over, and you'll see it, and you are seeing it now. So you're gonna see, and you are seeing it. In one sentence. You're going to see, and you see. You are seeing it right now. It's the present continuous tense, yeah? So this is what is happening right now. I am talking, and you're seeing a golden age of America. But at the same freaking sentence, via comma, you have future tense. You are going to. You're going to cinema, you're going to school by bus, you're going to... No, you go to school by bus. It's the regular action, I know. But if you're going to somewhere, yeah? Going to do something. You're going to see, and you're seeing. This is not even grammatically not correct, but it is logically hard to comprehend. And as soon as the war is over, a war that wasn't there, absolutely wasn't there, before your decision to start it. Like, what is happening with the hair, by the way? Well, anyways, he started the war, and then the war is over. We're gonna say, like, Trump just annihilated the golden age, according to this logic, yeah? According to this logic, if there is the logic. My mom is in debt and had to take second job because things are getting expensive because of him. Oh shit, Anakin, I'm sorry. But the prices are very high. This is the same guy that said he lowered drug prices by 600%. More, he said even more than 1,000 now. All I see is golden hair, golden hair of America. Does he dye them? Oh, he is going, by the way, to China today, yeah? Maybe we should monitor that flight on Flight Radar 24 of American president flying somewhere. Speaking to the press outside the White House, the United States president said both he and his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping are looking forward to the meeting in Beijing, China, and that he's spoken to President Xi preparation for the meeting. Okay. Will he fly today? I think, or tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. U.S. struck Iranian targets multiple times before and after ceasefire, Bloomberg reports. One April 8th strike knocked an oil refinery on Lavon Island offline for months. And yeah, there were reports initially the same day that UAE probably is involved. But later on, everything calmed down. Abu Dhabi also coordinated with Israel on April 6th hit of the South Pars petrochemical complex in Asauleh, which produces roughly 50% of Iranian's petrochemicals in response to the Iran's attack on Borough plant. We are living in this timeline, then there is UAE, or Abu Dhabi, it's the same UAE, They coordinate efforts with freaking Israel. Arabs together with Israel bombing Persians. This is crazy. Who would have thought, yeah? That after all those confrontations between Israel and Arabs, UAE and Saudis, they could be, they're actually allies of Israel now and of the United States. I think so, yeah. There's some sort of the unofficial coalition. Even though, according to their statements, they don't like Israel. Many of the Arab countries, they doesn't recognize Israel, but about military actions, they coordinate efforts. It's very interesting. China are laughing at him. I don't know. The enemy of our enemy is our friend. Yeah, that is what I say about those guys in some of the, how to call them, Tuaregs or Azawats in Mali, who are now gaining more ground and pushing Russian private armies away from multiple of the settlements. This is interesting. So, are they our friends? Absolutely not, but they're helping in a way. Even his hair trying to flee. China will demand the tariffs to be removed. Yeah, of course. Trump is going to China for the golden age. Is Mali government and Russians in Mali bad or not? Of course they are bad. Would we want Russia and Mali government to survive or not? I don't want them to survive. Like, why would I? They're our enemies. And, yeah. UAE to Israel. The new Rafah city will only move towards if Hamas is neutralized and Israel guarantees the project stays protected if fighting resumes. So UAE is like wants to protect Israel. Okay. What's gonna be your red line to end the ceasefire, Trump? We're gonna see it. We'll be thinking about it on the flight. So during his flight, he'll have some of the calls, meetings with people around. Trump, you're gonna have a gusher of oil like you never had before. I thought I would go up much more, but assumed oil would go much higher. So I started the war for oil to go higher, but it stays low. So we have, like, everything is good. You have nothing to complain. Shit. And it was the video published of the guy.
I'm not really sure how the military campaign resumes because we're beyond the 60-day deadline.
Yeah, I recently started to watch this guy. I will not watch him for long, but that is what he says about interesting thing about fuel prices. About Iranian confrontation, he, I think, says absolutely same stuff as me. Like, this logic is understandable. About the Ukrainian war, I don't think. Oh, here.
Station yesterday, we were at about $3. And people, we all are seeing gas prices just absolutely destroy the economy. I took a picture at my local gas station yesterday. We were at about $3 a gallon before the war started. Now we've almost doubled that, as you're looking at nearly $6 a gallon gasoline and nearly $7 a gallon for diesel. And when we look at the actual approval rating for conflicts here.
So yeah. Prices are going up. The teacher quality varies from district to district, so it's very spread case. However, it's stark difference between low-income districts and more. What are you saying about? Denys, Major Taylor Greene left the United States for Costa Rica, allegedly. Oh. And, of course, she would say that she afraid for her life. Yeah, I'll check out those news. Trump is furious with Iran. They will not have nuclear weapons. That's already we watched. Boom. What the hell? Zelensky condemned Russians' drone strike on a residential building in Kryvyi Rih. Increased prices where every American understands that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. So, prices, weapons, prices, weapons prices, nuclear weapons. That's basically the talk. Oh my god, he's so orange. I wonder how he might look like without this orange makeup. Like a pale death. Very pale death.
Understand.
Yeah, color really matters. Donnie don't look like he is over there. Yeah, doesn't look like that. Bonken, hi. American education system and how broken it is. Yeah. Oompa Loompa Trump. It's more like turd than orange. Red turd. Yeah. I should like check MTG. MTG. What she say? She says something. Does she say about some Costa Rica style? Boom, boom, boom. Affordability is not a hoax. I don't see that. Like, I don't see that. Happy Mother's Day. Maybe I can see MTG. Costa Concordia. Do you know what is the Costa Concordia? Probably you know. MTG, yeah, Lunar rumor. MTG has fled the country to Costa Rica, where she is now living in $5 million mansion after selling her home in Rome, Georgia, for $1.1 million in March 2026. Exclusively reported on the purchase of her mansion abroad in 2024. Costa Rica only allows for tourists to stay up to 90 days. Does this mean the Major Taylor Greene has applied for dual citizenship or has already obtained citizenship in Costa Rica? And if so, how long has she been planning to Costa Rica? Yeah, Costa Rica is not Puerto Rico. Yeah, Puerto Rico is American territory. Costa Rica is not. Yeah, as far as I remember. Costa Concordia lay off the side. Yeah. I thought she was Trump's biggest supporter. No, she is now biggest offender, and Donald Trump calls her Marjorie Traitor Brown. Go Costa Rica and fuck off, MTJ. Major Taylor Greene has reportedly moved out of the country. Well, good for her. She earned her money and she went there, so she will have her free time. Yeah. Enjoy. It's better that she went out. Better for American politics in general. The less of those stupid people out there. Animal loner. Yeah, I wish they all will go somewhere. But they're Americans. Come on, they're American patriots. So she turned against him. Yeah. She turned against him a lot. Can we listen to Tucker Carlson without copyright claim? Or we will receive a strike? Can we? It's the free use, yeah. Oh, I need to launch it on the other channel. I want to comment Zelensky PSYOP stuff. Well, not Zelensky. It's about. It's basically about Ukraine. Not this interview is not mainly about Zelensky. Bro. Tucker Carlson.
Thank you for doing this. I'm amazed. I never thought I would speak to anyone around Zelensky. So, and I knew you were doing this at some Great risk to
Let's
yourself.
make it
so
like
thank you
this.
very much. So you were President
And let's make browser like this. Yeah. So let's make the part of the screen out there.
Zelensky's press secretary.
Yes, first of all, thank you for having me, and I never expected to see myself.
Yeah, I'm too much on the screen, I guess. Maybe like that, something like that. But I want to be big, because if I small, like YouTube will detect it automatically, you know.
Here talking about my former boss, Volodymyr Zelensky. I used to work for him for 2 years, since 2019 till 2021.
How did you wind up working for him?
Volodymyr Zelensky announced the job via Facebook, and everybody started applying, and I didn't want.
This is the stupidest thing, actually, that was done, like job via Facebook, like what? Okay, we need a new young team. Come on, you need to elect professionals. And she is not exposing completely, but she's now, I think, maybe obtained some of the money, maybe, I cannot state it by 100%, or she wants to get some of the fame, to be like, or to enter some of the political things, political life, and she started to actually lie in the interview. Like, as I told you, 50% truth, 50% lies, and that forms Russian propaganda. Perfect one. Because, if she said about some of the corruption thing, she couldn't lie about other thing. But no, they always lie.
Want to apply first because I thought he would take someone, nepotically.
Yeah.
But there was an open application, and I won through 4,000 of applicants. It's not a joke.
Such a misfortune that she went.
And then actually I need to prove myself that I can do a job and that he can trust me. But we found the common ground, and I think I was very faithful towards him,
Yes.
And I supported him, and I supported him in 2022.
Actually, she wrote a book about Zelensky, saying like, can I try to search this book out there? Yeah, it's available on Amazon. The Fight of Our Lives. And Zelensky is here, The Fight of Our Lives. My Time with Zelensky, Ukraine's Battle for Democracy and What It Meant for the World. It was released in 2022. It's from Moving Inside account, Zelensky's former press secretary. Okay. And there she praised Zelensky. Like, Zelensky, war leader, he stopped the war, stopped Russian aggression. Woman who had her account detail about her life as a member of Zelensky's New Ukraine. Written with the sound of Russian bombs explode. Like, she praised in this book. She praised everything, and the Yermak as well. But now she writes different book, a different one, probably pouring some of the shit on Zelensky. So how can you, Carson is 100% right-wing Russia? Yeah. And how now she's going to this, informational platform, and everybody knows who Tucker Carlson is and how he says about those crazy laboratories, how he says that Zelensky is unhinged and narcoman. And she said the same, absolutely same stuff. So it's pure Russian propaganda.
When Russia made its large-scale invasion, as millions of Ukrainians, I was grateful that he stayed in the country.
Yes.
That's
there is nothing like, some people try to glorify, okay, president stayed in the country. There was a large part of the country, and Kyiv, including, that was not under occupation. I mean, Kyiv city itself. I'm sure that there were plans to evacuate Ukrainian government, and later on, this information found its confirmation by Ukrainian members from Zelensky party, they say that they had planned to evacuate, after all, to Ivano-Frankivsk. So Ivano-Frankivsk is the western Ukraine. They were going to have their headquarters over there in case of the Russians' occupation of Kiev, which didn't happen. And as the leader of any country, president, commander, supreme commander of the army, of course, every sort of the president should stay in the country. Like, there is nothing extraordinary about it. Yeah, there were cases before, then some people, this guy, Bashar Assad, who is now living in Moscow, or Yanukovych, but it's their weakness. Like, it's extraordinary that they left. It's not extraordinary that the president is staying. Like, it's like normal. And millions of people, they stayed in their homes in Kiev city as well. Like, millions left, but millions stayed. So it's if president is living his own people there, so it's a bad thing about him, of course. But it's nothing unusual should be at his position.
It's so strange and desperate for me to be here and to talk who he really is. I don't have personal vendetta, but I believe that he is.
Yeah, it's very strange. Like, her motivation why she says like lies. Yeah, correct information and also lies. Very interesting what motivates her. We cannot prove that she was really paid by Russia, but she exactly copy-pasted Russian-style propaganda. Not Russian-style, just pure Russian propaganda there.
Is one of the biggest obstacles towards peace today. So I wanted to tell the people.
So Zelensky is the obstacle towards peace today. Not Putin, who started the war, and without that war everything was peaceful. It's Zelensky, who is one of the main obstacles. Well, actually, I don't like Zelensky personally, but he's not an obstacle to reach the peace. This is like logic, yeah? One country, another country. This country attacks another country, and what? There is the war. And if this country which attack, it doesn't get its forces out, or doesn't want to stop here, it means that there is no peace, right? So who is the obstacle? Ukraine that continue to defend. It's like, this is a psyop here. She says psyop, and probably we're gonna, I don't know, stay here for a while. I'm gonna tell what is psyop, what is truth.
Who he is.
Who is he?
Who is he? Who?
First of all, he's not a person whom you see on camera.
Maybe it's like that. He is an actor, and I also tell like that. So maybe he is good in playing some roles, but it also helps in some of the international relations. Yeah, but he's an actor.
He's a very different person. He changes masks all the time. He is emotionally uncontrollable.
I'm not sure about emotionally uncontrollable, but the fact that he changes his masks, well, guess. It could be true, yeah.
Emotionally uncontrollable.
Yeah, he doesn't control his emotions. He's often hysterical, and he thinks that every person is disposable. He doesn't have empathy that he plays. He's absolutely insanely great actor, and that brought.
I'm not sure about emotions, about person disposable. Like, she put all together, like, and she puts like he's an actor, changes mask. So. This is hard to prove. Like, what is the example, please?
Brought us a lot of support in 2022.
Yeah.
But his acting doesn't have any substance, and everything that he is saying, it's so detached from the reality.
Yes.
And majority of the things that he's saying.
Yes. Thank you, Chris. Yes. Say more shit, please.
And it's either manipulation, or it's a fact that is being taken from the context, or it's pure lies. And millions of people still believe that supporting Zelensky means supporting Ukraine. But today,
she put all together, and I really think that supporting Zelensky doesn't mean that you are supporting Ukraine. And yes, Zelensky, with his personality, he compared himself to Ukraine. He was the face of Ukrainian resistance. Partially, he also has this face until now, but not as before, let's say. So yeah, he associated himself with the support of Ukraine. That's 100%.
Today it's different. And Tucker, I would like to say I'm not here to justify Russian invasion. I'm not
Right.
here to justify Putin. What Russian
But he will did she will do it.
army is doing in Ukraine equals crimes against humanity.
Yes.
But this war is not black and white anymore. It's dark and even darker.
No, it's black and white. Russia attacked Ukraine, and Ukraine is resisting. It's not about Zelensky. So you see, this interview is not anti-Zelensky or criticizes Zelensky. They drag narratives that it's not black and white. There is Putin, is he aggressor? Is he a dictator? No, you see, Zelensky is also a dictator. So this is maybe it's Ukraine. Zelensky is not willing to peace. So Russia is killing Ukrainians and bombs their homes just because of Zelensky. No, Russia is after all peaceful. Come on, Russia. Russia is Russia, and Vladimir Putin is actually a nice guy. So it's all Zelensky. Yeah. So this narrative they try to promote, criticizing Zelensky, but not really. The point is not to make Zelensky as a fool here, but the point is to make an excuse for Russia, justify Russian aggression, and propel Russian narratives. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm criticizing Zelensky. He's really involved and his friends into corruption schemes. But this interview is not about it. This interview is about propaganda.
We just see Putin as an evil, but Zelensky is also an evil.
Yeah, you see. It's the fight between evil and evil. Ukraine is Russia, Russia is Ukraine. This is propaganda. This is what we see in this interview. She's Ukrainian. She it's crazy what she's doing.
He's just a hidden one. He plays such a
Hidden dictator. This
teddy bear, on camera. But then when the light goes off, he's a grizzly bear.
like a vampire.
And he destroys the people.
Physically. This acting is like Erika Kirk style,
It's almost surreal to recollect that almost every Western leader and Western delegations that were coming to Ukraine before the war, they treated Zelensky as a political novice. They saw he was low-educated, unqualified, and low depth. But then overnight, he just turned into this great face of democracy.
Yeah.
Here, partially it's truth. So I say, it will be a mix of truth, lies. So here's partial truth. Rating of Zelensky went down because he fucked up with all of the reforms. He was not popular. He was not elected president for the next term. Unelectable, let's say, not electable president because of his rating. And the war, because of the war, because he stayed in Kiev, his rating skyrocketed. Just because of the war. If it wasn't the war, yes, Zelensky wouldn't be now the president of Ukraine. That's correct. And what makes him so special about this war is not really Zelensky. Well, he is acting, yes, it's his. He is a good actor. He went into this role right away from the first day, like a leader, wearing this green uniform, whatever. Yes, it played a role, and he is the contrast, yeah? He was the contrast for the rest of the European bureaucrat politicians who are just, gray mass of nothing less. So there is no, true... Who is the leader of Europe now, if we check out? Macron? Merz is the classical bureaucrat. He was... I think he was working even for BlackRock, as far as I remember. I don't remember actually the details. Potato is currently on a 5-stream. Thank you, Potato. Thank you so much. So that's why Zelensky became so powerful, because he was contrasting. It was such a leader of the democratic country, the country which wants to be the part of Europe, and he was looking and acting powerful. His country was attacked. He called I need ammo, not taxi or something like that. So he was ooh, something unusual, and people believed into him. And whoa, this is the guy, this is the leader. And he used his kind of amplitude to propel the support of Ukraine. So he actually here his acting was in favor of Ukraine. Yes.
But it feels like the West created the myth, fell into it, and doesn't that the West keeps ignoring the fact that this beneath that Zelensky's rhetoric, heroic rhetoric, he keeps accumulating power. And I'm not afraid to say he keeps hollowing the very same people.
Here, partially it's true. Zelensky built like this vertical power that is actually created those corruption scandals. So there is no counter leverage. There are no multiple branches of the power. It is like in Orban style of ruling, but without this unhinged pro-Russian things. Yeah. So Zelensky, his party, majority, what Zelensky says, what Yermak says, they implement, they control everything manually. They apply those officials, SBU officials, even ambassadors. So everything was done by few people in Ukraine. So it's not, and the party in parliament, it received the signals from Zelensky himself. They received, even financial benefits to vote for particular legislation, which is in favor of some guys. So it's the fact, guys. It's the fact. It was working like that. So here she is partially correct. Yeah, here she is correct. So as I told you, like view from inside and lots of the lies here in this interview. That is a pure mix or recipe for fantastic, actually, propaganda job that Tucker Carlson made with this interview. Not many views, I would say, but the interview, like for the propaganda job, yeah, well done, well done. I hope we'll see the same one or similar one from Ukrainian side. Sadly, democratic institutions are not willing to support democratic influencers physically, or there is no like this scheme as Russia Today, for example, created. There's no system working for the for European propaganda or democratic propaganda as for the Russian one, sadly. So yeah, Russia actually in they have some points here, yeah, with this interview, and I cannot prove whether they pay for it or not, but this is the best propaganda interview, one of the best of their interviews I have ever seen. I mean, the way how she speaks like this. She has a Ukrainian accent, but it's so American, so it reaches the heart. Her acting is interesting, and she explains everything in plain stuff, and repeating all those Russian narratives, adding truths also there. So this is, 10 out of 10.
People he claims to save. It's pretty strong to say, I know that. But I believe that, people need to understand that if you want to support Ukraine, the only way to support Ukraine today is to push for the peace deal.
Again, Zelensky. Then Ukraine, the only way to support Ukraine is to push for the peace deal. That is what Donald Trump said in interviews, pushing for. But the peace deal, as we know from Russia, should I find it somewhere in internet? Okay. Ushakov almost every day says about it. Putin himself, Ukraine should give up Donbass, should give up territories without any sort of the guarantees for Ukraine from any sort of the side. Like Ukraine should leave and the war will continue until Ukraine leaves. But how can you get out from those territories, just leaving those people saying that, okay, you are Russians now. You're Russians, your houses will be occupied by Russians. We are leaving, and we will hope that Russia stops the war and start negotiations. So it's not the condition even for Russians to stop the war. They're not saying about it. They're saying, we're going to talk to you directly if you withdraw the forces from Donbass. So this is the condition for the start of negotiations. And in those negotiations, they will tell, okay, denazification, the militarization, otherwise we'll continue. We have already occupied the most fortified part of the front lines. We're going to go further next. So, like, what is it? Push for what? here they say push Ukraine for capitulation. This is what she says here.
This is the only way that Ukraine can survive, because I believe we are on the verge of extinction. Somebody is talking about 2-3 years of war anymore. It just like doesn't come up with numbers, with demography, with anything, with all those suffering that's happening in the country.
You know, it reaches the heart, like, oh, the suffering, her acting, it's like, oh my God.
Tell me, no, thank you. Thank you for saying that. I agree. I'm not Ukrainian, but I don't understand the point of this. I mean, many questions.
Even he doesn't understand the point of this.
About how and why it started, but what's beyond question is Ukraine as a nation is being eliminated. That's obvious to me.
So it's obvious that Ukraine as a nation is being eliminated. Huh? So who is there in Ukraine? Like those millions, whose army is fighting? Like who? Like how dare Ukraine be invaded? Oh shit, guys, this is crazy. Ukraine as a nation has been eliminated. So why Russia is not in Kiev then? In Lviv, in Ivano-Frankivsk? What Russia is doing? Why it's scrolling for the 5th year? Why it's controlling less territories than in 2022? Like, this is crazy. This is... So yeah, she might say something about Zelensky, but the real goal of this interview is to propel this Russian propaganda, which absolutely hits the wall of reality. Anyone who knows or watched something about Ukraine understands that it's all bullshit, but you need to watch it. Yeah, this interview was for MAGA audience, for American audience in general as well, trying to convince them for the Russian narratives, and I would say it's pretty much successful. But again, the views are not that big as for Tucker Carlson shows. Number works, yeah. Those people live in different reality. Yeah, I'll stand by a little reading your comments. She's yucky. Hey, bro, Denys, how are you today? I'm doing great. She's talking about Putin. For sure, though, yeah. I'll run for member of parliament against... Oh, I see. I hope you take Rostov and Don and the war to come, yeah. Well, in 2024, Ukraine took the part of Kursk Oblast, then retreated, of course, but anyways, non-existent nation, according to Tucker Carlson, is doing that. Orban and Trump to Ukraine have been like, why are you unfortunate? Yeah. When on earth she is on that show? What the filming? What she's doing? I don't know. I don't know why she's doing it, Dmitry. Trump is a pirate. He has even said it to himself. Yeah, we're like the pirates himself.
The biggest country in Europe, so it's a big deal. Since you mentioned numbers, how many people live in Ukraine? So when you started working...
Before the war, I think it was around 40 million. Now it's around 30, something like that. Maybe a little bit lower than 30.
For Zelensky, you work for the government of Ukraine, 2019. How many Ukrainians were there in Ukraine?
So officially, Ukraine is the country of 42 million people. But we had the last census, I think, in 2000 or 2001, and we did not manage to organize another one. So when I was working for the government, government officials, including Zelensky, were telling the numbers that they believed there are 37 millions of Ukrainians in the country. Now, with around 10 plus million of Ukrainians turning into refugees, going to the West, some stay in occupation, Eastern countries, and even some in Russia, perhaps there are around 25 million Ukrainians in the country. And the worst thing is...
Up to 30, let's say.
That 11 million of them are retired people. And
I don't think that 11 million is too much, too big number. I think officially it's like 7 million, something like that.
These retired people live for the pensions from $75 to $180 to $100 per month.
Yeah, the wages in Ukraine are really low. Yeah, I understand it.
Ukraine is not that super cheap country where
Yeah.
you can actually survive. for
Yeah,
this
here she
money.
is correct.
Just 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, there was a terrible story when one movie director of Ukraine, who was a retired person, died at his home, and his neighbor wrote that he died from hunger and cold. There were these severe temperatures in Ukraine, and he didn't have anyone to.
Why there were severe temperatures in Ukraine? In his home? Maybe someone bombed the power plants? Heating units? Yeah?
Help him. I just wonder if ever we will know the statistics, how many people died from this cold and from having no opportunities to
Wait, so
survive.
you're saying that the
But why cold was there? Yeah? She's not saying she's blaming what? Ukraine, low wages? People dying in their apartments the last winter not because of the Russian bombing, but because of the low wages, or what? I didn't understand here.
Ukraine right now has maybe 15 million, maybe fewer working people actually who are working in the entire country.
Well, you don't count children. Children are not working, right? So I don't know how many children under 18 are there. But perhaps if we have around 10 million of working people, that would be fine.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
How many have died in the war, do you know?
The numbers are very different, and it's very difficult to count. Right now, the official UN verified statistics is around 15,000 of civilians. The numbers of those who turned into military are not known. So it's very hard to know. But only in Mariupol, it is known that there are graves for around 20,000 of Ukrainians.
In Mariupol alone, around up to 100,000 civilians, up to 100,000 were perished. Yeah, it's like an official number. It's not in United Nations statistics, but that is what people from Mariupol say. 100,000. Just in Mariupol alone. So I would say in Ukraine, maybe 700,000 people died because of the war already, military and civilians.
So I guess there are at least hundreds of thousands of those who died, and we will just never know the numbers. I'm sorry, it's so painful to talk about.
It's absolutely awful. But I'm wondering why. Well, my government, which has funded a lot of this war, why we can't get a straight answer from the U.S. government, from the Ukrainian government, the Russian government. I mean, no one seems to have an interest in finding out the real number of dead.
Yes, well, it's very difficult to do because how do you do this in occupation, right?
Yeah, the war is ongoing. So actually, she has some of the logic. Sometimes she tells more or less real figures. But next we'll see.
There is no any relation with that side that would allow to learn this information, and the other side,
Yes.
which is Russian side, obviously is interested in hiding the numbers, right?
Yes.
I don't believe in verified numbers, and obviously. Look, many people who are military now, they used to be just ordinary civilians, right? Engineers, IT guys, journalists working their everyday life, and then they turned into military. So, of course, they are soldiers, but they're also people, right? And they are dying. And there are a lot of these things I've heard from the front lines when a person was killed and the body is brought and he has a bullet in his head, and the government officials, local officials just don't want to put him as a dead from the front line, so they say he died from a heart attack, for instance.
You see this narrative? She explains the story. Yes, some of the story, the guy is taken with a bullet in the head, and officials say, okay, let's put it as a heart attack. But she, at the beginning, let's listen to what she said.
Lines when a person was killed,
Just.
the numbers, right?
Yes.
I don't believe in verified numbers, and obviously.
Just
Look,
here.
Many people who are military now,
No,
they
not here.
used to
Just
be
wait
just
a little.
ordinary civilians, right? Engineers, IT guys, journalists working their everyday life, and then they turned into military. So of course.
Now she's thinking about it. Okay, how should came out with this story? She actually has this apparatus working very well, She's capable to continue the speech quite fast with a good English. She's kind of the talented speaker. Yeah, she's really. I think maybe that's why she was. She presented herself like that to Zelensky, and Zelensky said, "Oh, you'll be my secretary, press secretary." Yeah, I think that she has a particular talent to deliver the story. That's why she makes it believable. But if you try to listen what she says, there is zero evidence of those words.
Of course, they are soldiers, but they're also people, right? And they are dying.
So here.
And there are a lot of these things.
There are lots of the things, and her body language shows that she's thinking about the story, how to come out with the story. Okay, I should come out like imagine some of the fairy tale.
Heard from the front lines when a person was killed and the body alive, and then they turned into military. Right?
Okay.
And there are a lot of these things I've heard from the front lines when a person was killed.
I heard from the front lines. Then if you say about the particular, like, it's based on nothing. This story is based on nothing. And people who listen to her, they might understand that this story is about everything what is happening in Ukraine, that then soldier dies, they always write that it's the heart attack, it's not the military casualty, and they are not paying money for the family, for the compensation. Yeah, so, and this argument, I heard the stories, some people say it's all goes through this interview entirely. Like lots of the statements based on absolutely freaking nothing. Some of the gossips. If I tell something about on my channel, I say rumors say, I cannot prove that. Rumors, unconfirmed information. Here she say, I heard a story, some guy is coming. And she's so emotional like this. Oh, I stepped on a bee.
And the body is brought and he has a bullet in his head, and the government officials, local officials just don't want to put him as a dead from the front line, so they say he died from a heart attack.
It's all Zelensky.
Yeah, it's war, and
it's all Ukraine.
I think it was happening in every war.
Yes.
It's just like, I think we will never know the true number, but there are so many people who are suffering there. And, I told you this terrible story about retired people and that they live for such absolutely outrageously low pensions. Just when I talk about Zelensky, I'm an insider. I talk to so many people who used to work for him, or even those people who work for him. And to be clear, I believe that he stands behind many schemes of money laundering. And one of the stories is that I have a friend who was shortlisted for the position of the Ministry of Social Policies during the large-scale invasion. And he was called, and he said that he was one of 5 candidates. And he would be interviewed by Zelensky and Mr. Yermak, then Chief of Staff of President Zelensky. And he was told that during the interview, he would need to come up with the schemes of money laundering so that they are financed from the Ministry of Social Policy.
Like, there is corruption in Ukraine, okay? There is corruption in Ukraine. Everything in this is understandable. But just imagine what she says. So her friend is like the candidate, the candidate for some of the position, like she mentioned. I don't even want to call it the position. Anyways, one of the 5, who selected, and they have, it's like their task, like you're on the job interview, like IT specialist, they do some of the project, to present like the part of the interview. So the project for the hiring to the interview, to came out with the corruption scheme for us. Oh my God. It's like, this is like a self-exposing stuff. Come on, corruption is in Ukraine, it's so corrupt that they are giving this corruption tasks for the candidates, for some of the official positions. This is not how corruption works. Oh my God. Corruption, yeah, there is the corruption in president office is quite severe, but it is within this freaking internal circle. They are not given tasks for the candidates. This stuff even sounds stupid. This sounds like, oh yeah. They even inside their circle, they have like those nicknames to hide their identity. But here's like a job interview and you have the corruption task right away, not even being hired for the job. Like some random people here give the corruption task for like corruption program for President Zelensky and you'll get hired. This is nonsense. What you say? Like this is okay.
Policy, and Ministry of Social Policy is the ministry that is responsible for pensions. So when we're talking about those poor pensioners, and knowing the fact that Zelensky himself approves the schemes of money laundering, I mean, is he guilty? I want your audience to respond.
I haven't heard the corruption schemes there is the budget general schemes, but in particular about pensions, I don't know. I haven't heard any sort of the investigations about that one yet. Maybe we'll see in the future, but she doesn't present any sort of the evidence, and she claims that Zelensky is responsible. So my friend got this task interview to get the job, and she directly claims that Zelensky is responsible for those things. I can only say what Nabu said, yeah? That Zelensky was the part of the Mindich-Gate scandal, that Zelensky was the part of this property scandal. That's why Andriy Yermak was today in the court, by the way, and they were chosen to arrest him or not to arrest him. Well, he has like 72 hours since the moment of the suspicious notice to be like arrested or not arrested. So tomorrow there will be one more court for him. Oh, I hope he'll be arrested. So what they say, like official Ukrainian freaking investigation team, what they say presenting their information of official investigation, I'm telling about it on my channel. But what she says is like a friend of mine, someone told, everybody knows from the front line, like some gossips, rumors, and immediately he accuses directly, yeah? So
to that, okay. Do you understand the desperation of mine?
I'm so
here's
desperate.
a pretty awful statistic. Over 85% of
I think most people watching assume that Ukraine is corrupt and has been for a long time, and that the Zelensky regime is especially corrupt.
Yeah, and especially corrupt. And the United States regime is not especially corrupt.
I think Americans believe that, but there's almost no evidence that has come out in the American press. The American media has not written very much about his corruption. Why do you think that is?
I saw good pieces about corruption, but you're right that there are not too many of them. It's very hard, first of all, to prove it. But I think there was also some kind of agreement, not official one, right? Unofficial agreement that we all need to support Zelensky because this means to support Ukraine. We're all united, to support Ukraine, but
yeah, it actually those corruption schemes, they play kind of the bad role in support of Ukraine. That's why Europe didn't pay that much attention on those, just not to underestimate the support of Ukraine, just not to make it worse, because people might think, why should we support Ukraine if there is corrupt Zelensky, like something like that. So it can play the bad role for Ukraine in general, and the Ukrainian defenders, Ukrainian army is defending not just Ukraine, but also Europe. So just not to make it too much harsh, they avoid speaking. I think it's like that, and partially here she is correct, like to avoid the kind of the bad shadow, not to draw bad shadow on Zelensky, but come on, if there is the corruption scandal or corruption investigation, everyone would know. And this is not good what Zelensky and his team did, actually, with this corruption.
Zelensky abused this unity. He abused our belief in democracy. He abused our fight. He abused our sacrifice, Ukrainian sacrifice, and what the European.
I don't think he abused something. He just continued what he done even before the war, because those schemes were before and the war started, they continue. That's it.
And Americans were doing for us. He abused actually the trust of so many people. I believe that
Abused the trust. Well, yeah, people mistrust him later on, and his rating dropped down after he came to drain the swamp and he became the swamp. Yeah, it happened before the war. Here I agree. Yeah.
millions who still support Zelensky, they were, looking for some great guy in politics. They
Yes.
wanted to believe that there is someone, Churchill or whatever, a
Exactly.
historic guy who would really do something good for the people. And Zelensky is amazing actor. He's gonna give you what you want.
Exactly.
And that's what's happening. He still plays on camera this great guy. But believe me, behind the camera, he's very different.
Partially I agree here, partially.
I was working for 2 years. For 2 years, this guy was repeating two phrases, which are very vocal about him. One of them, he was saying, Ukraine is not ready for democracy. And this is a quote. Another quote was,
I don't know. She says about it, there is no legitimate things whether to how to confirm what he said. She says about it as a whistleblower. I know. Maybe he said that. Maybe it's hard to prove.
dictatorship
Unprovable.
is an order. So how on earth a person who believes that Ukraine is not ready for democracy and that dictatorship is an order actually can be the face of democracy?
Someone who's canceled elections, who's not actually elected president,
Well, according to Ukrainian legislation, it's plus and minus, but elections may not be conducted. Let's say then there is the full-scale war, so he didn't cancel really elections. But I think if Zelensky really wanted to conduct the elections, he might try also to find this legislation to conduct those elections. It will be very difficult because many Ukrainians left Ukraine on the front lines, but in term of, let's say, maybe 1 week, I think those elections could be done. It's just not you may see it on legislation. It's kind of thin, let's say. But for sure, Zelensky himself personally is not canceling those elections.
couldn't agree more. So what, in 2019, 2020, 2021, what was Zelensky saying about Russia?
Zelensky came to the presidency as the president of peace.
Yes.
During his electoral...
We've seen this before.
Oh, yeah.
He's making the joke about Donald Trump. And here I actually think it's like that. Zelensky came to power, guys. I remember this time. He came not understanding Russia itself. He was telling exactly what Donald Trump is telling now to Ukraine. Zelensky was saying, I immediately will call to Putin. We're going to negotiate. We're going to agree on that. We're going to stop the war. Territories are not important. People are important. I'm going to, if necessary, beg him on my knees. He said that. That's truth. That's truth that Zelensky said that. And you may have the videos out there on the internet saying in interviews that he didn't understand by the time. He was not aware of really Russian regime because he was new in politics. He has some of the connections in Russia. He is Russian speaker himself. It's his mother language as mine, by the way. And he had business in Russia. He has business with Russian actors. So he thought that he knew Putin. Putin is just a fella from our ex-Soviet countries. We can negotiate. We can stop this war from occupation of Crimea. Yeah, we're going to stop it from Donbass. We're going to stop it. But then he went to... then he met with Putin. He realized that, no, Putin needed Zelensky because, instead of Poroshenko. Putin actually thought that, okay, it's Poroshenko that is against him, so it's better actually to fuel some of the propaganda against Poroshenko. And Russia really supported, like Russian officials, they really called to vote for Zelensky. And then Zelensky was elected, he went to meet with Putin, and Putin wanted from Zelensky just to resign from the power or being puppet of Putin in Ukraine. That's what Putin saw in Zelensky. And then Zelensky understood it. Oh shit, it's fucking impossible to negotiate with Putin. Putin wants to occupy our country, really, and there is no term on which Putin would agree. Putin doesn't need Ukraine as the sovereign country, as his neighbor. He wants to really put the puppet government as in Belarus. And Zelensky, even though he was a populist, he after all was a Ukrainian president, and he decided to change his rhetorics completely. And since that time, Putin just hates Zelensky, and he thinks that he betrayed him. I'm not calling like Zelensky as a full patriot or something, but for him, even to be a president, to continue to hold this post, he absolutely must be pro-Ukrainian. Otherwise, people would just smash him. So this is the main reason. And he definitely, rhetorics of Zelensky was copy-paste from Donald Trump when he came to power. This here, I agree. Like, I'm a president of peace, I'm gonna call Putin, and not in 24 hours, but immediately we're gonna stop the war. He called like that, guys.
Yeah. He's the guy who made himself in Russia. The first biggest money he made was in Russia, millions of dollars. He was working for Russian propaganda channels, and he was fine with that. Furthermore...
He was?
Of course.
Yeah, he was. There is even some videos. This is fun. It's like alternate reality. Zelensky, голубой огонек. It looks like really shit right now. Like, what had happened? Lots of those people who you see in, like those Russian artists who are sitting there, they're now pro-Putin completely. Galkin, by the way, not. Galkin left Russia. Yeah, Galkin is our guy. He left Russia, he condemns the war, and he is like anti... But the rest, most of them, they're like pro-Putin. And this is Голубой огонек. Голубой огонек, it's blue light it's called. It's like a evening show for the new year. Yeah, especially for the new, like every new year, there is Голубой огонек when those local stars, in Russia and also Ukraine sometimes, they're celebrating New Year together. Not just Ukraine, but like ex-Soviet countries. So it was like this sort of the show. And many Ukrainian artists, they were going to Russia for like singing, performing, and Zelensky was one of those artists. Because simply money were bigger in Russia and always. Simply more viewers, more money. And Zelensky, he has had his business in Russia, and this is so unreal. I forgot the name of this actress. Yeah, later on in the war has started, she put like a T-shirt on her boobs saying, "Look at my Iskanders." So Iskanders, Russian missiles. This is so surreal. This is so unreal. But yeah, it was like that. Oh, jeez.
Of course, he made all his career, tens of years. He was everywhere in Moscow. By the way, when the first Russian invasion in Donbass happened and Russia annexed Crimea, he was spending time in Russia. He was finishing his movie for which he got a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he even recognized this in August 2019, I think. He wrote, yes, I was in Russia. I was finishing the movie. It was 2014. The war was going on. Furthermore, I'm writing a book right now, and it's a different book. It's a book about real Zelensky. And
So before she read I already wrote the book. Yeah, before she wrote the book, I already told you, praising Zelensky, actually, like a war president, blah blah blah. And she wants now to read the book, write a book about real Zelensky. So before I wrote the book about fake Zelensky or what? Like, you understand this personality? Yeah, she's a grifter. She is. She doesn't have her own, like, if, for example, Russian regime fails tomorrow, she'll again, I'm sure she'll like, oh, Zelensky, I was a spy, you know, I was actually working for you. I was a double agent. I had to go to Tucker Carlson show to tell how bad you are, you know, because of something. She's a smart girl. She came out with that one, so yeah. Oh, but this is funny to watch. This is funny, like, and knowing this, if you know something about Ukraine, like particular top, like something, at least something, you understand that this is hoax. But general public, they will understand it as the true stuff. And yeah, they put the truth. Like Zelensky was like working for Russian companies. Yes. And then they tell like something else. Okay, I'm tired about this guy. Guys, I'm tired. Solovyov in the crowd cheering. Holy shit, lol. Yeah, cheering for Zelensky. Goswell, hi Dennis, long time watcher, lifetime charter. I just want to say thank you for so much, Goswell. Thank you. Thanks for commenting. You might follow me on Twitch, by the way. There is the option to follow. I'm against corruption, but my heart breaks when I hear how many women and children in Ukraine have been murdered by a person acting on orders. Yeah. So, just to please cover the human safari, Putin's orc murdering innocent civilians in Kherson, and cannibalism by the Russian army. Safari, yeah, I shared information from Colin Robertson. He recorded a video. I recommend you guys to check out his channel. Colin Robertson, he filmed the video from Kherson himself. And definitely Russians even tried to kill him with a drone. And about cannibalism, I recorded already in one of my videos. There was the article published, yeah, in the Russian army. Russia is descending into Dante's Inferno right before our eyes. I would like to hear your comments. Yeah, can we please get rid of Trump? You can't, Anakin. You can't. I don't know. He was still what? So you see, yeah, this interview. Why I told in my last video that it's just a propaganda. It's a freaking propaganda. And it's perfect propaganda because she says something which even I would agree with some of her remarks, but immediately they say like, oh, there is no black and white. Ukraine is evil and Russia is evil. You see? That's their main goal. Do you have the PC flight stick to play Microsoft Flight Simulator? Yes, I have. As soon as you say they will get some working brains, lol. Well, yeah. Why they don't build a wall like between USA and Mexico? It's too expensive, I guess. Simply the big, very long border. What is this? Iran's RGC just completed their 5-day Martin Commander training exercise focused on asymmetric warfare techniques. Part of the training was practicing hitting banner of UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter with FPV drones. So they have drones. It's interesting. Be ready. A massive attack by Russian Federation is planned in the coming days. Yuri Ignat confirmed about the readiness of Russia to attack. Again. Yesterday they attacked. Today they attack. Thanks for following, Glassville. This guy, he's hyping. Oh, this guy. I hate this guy. Tyler Oliveira has been banned and denied entry to Israel and deported to the United States over his anti-Jewish content. He's like not anti-Jewish, he's anti-human, I would say. He just hyping on differences, on immigration, on like people in general. So basically hype content creator. By the way, recently he also, maybe 2 days ago, he went to Tucker Carlson. There was an interview with him. Yeah. Well, I would ban him not from Israel, but also from Europe. Something with Charlie Moist critical on my phone. I don't like the guy who's hyping on that, drama hypers. Trump wanted to build a wall at the Mexican border, but Mexico should pay for it, so just another Trump. He's funny. I don't know. I don't like him. I don't like him. Oh, 1 hour and 47 minutes. It went so fast, actually. It seems like I have started the stream just right now, but no. Pentagon considering renaming Iran's war Slangerhammer if ceasefire collapses. Pentagon considers renaming the Sledgehammer. Huh? What is Sledgehammer? In case the ceasefire collapses. So, strange legislation, but anyways. So, crazy American president may start the war, but in 60 days he requires the approval from Congress. So, and now Donald Trump says that, okay, the war is over, Epic Fury, and he will just rename the war into different special military operation, and that's how they will continue, right? Right? Like every 60 days, a new special military operation. Just to avoid those 60 days term, Every hammer is a sledgehammer. Yeah, we'll see. He goes pulling out the gas bill. Yeah. I wonder if he flies, when he flies, to where. I guess I should stock up on gasoline again. Sledgehammer to knock the walls down. When Trump flies to China, I need to track his flight on Flight Radar 24. Kuvalda weird, this message got banned by YouTube. Really? Sledgehammer is a really heavy two-handed hammer. It's like Kuvalda, yeah. Danny Donny flying to China today. So yeah, I need exact time. People need to think about switching to EVs. Gasoline and diesel will be high for years. Depends how often you drive. Yeah. For me, I drive not very often. He's not going to China. They are meeting in. He's going to China. Trump is already on the way to Beijing, reports Associated Press. He left Washington for Beijing on Tuesday, made vows, arrival Beijing Capital Airport Wednesday. I can help live exact tracking sighting President's aircraft. Flight Radar 24 may not show it at all. So he's on the way. Maybe I can go to the Flight Radar 24. Maybe some like people tracking. Brim. Ooh, what is this? B-1 Bomber in Italy, near Sicily. It flies from UK. #1 tracked worldwide. What else we have? #2 and A. Oh, 757. Kind of strange. From Washington, yeah, from Washington to we don't know where. Also London, you see, London, but it's Canadian London. Where are you from? I'm from London, Canada. Huh? Or St. Petersburg, Florida. Yeah, there is the Florida. And here, where is this freaking St. Petersburg? It's like right on the edge somewhere. Kind of the big city, I would say also, as far as I remember, St. Petersburg. But I don't remember where is it now. Ah, yeah, here, St. Petersburg. In Florida. Woo! It's kind of interesting weather there. You have guys in Florida who is from Florida. Some sort of the interesting weather. Could be rainy. In the northern part or central part, everything is fine. But here is also the weather in Canada. Michigan just passed. And going here to Canada. Over those Great Lakes. Still some planes are flying there. What is this plane? Yeah, I need to lower my image for you to see. 29 years old airplane. It's okay. I'm sure they're maintained. What is this? This is KC-46A Pegasus, a refueler in Kuwait. Just flying back. Some of the GPS position crashes. By the way, it's kind of new, 6 years old. What else we have? This is 135R started tanker flying over Jordan. Yeah, Jordan. Michael Jordan. Iraqi Airways. And again this shit. Iraqi Airways. And what is this? 707 KC-135R. Practicing the flights in UK. That's it. Like no Trump plane, no Trump phone, no Trump plane. Does it track also UFOs? No. How many hours passenger plane the house have? Depends. Technically, they may fly forever with the proper maintenance. London, Canada, good. I don't want to do it here. London, yeah. I live in London, Ontario, LOL. Really? Yeah. They say Indonesia will start changing tolls also. How are you, Dennis? I'm good, Ben. Yeah, you too. Have a good flight. Or we are wishing a good flight to Donny, yeah? Yeah? Have you been to Denmark before? No, never. Never ever I was in Denmark. But I like that country. Nice flag. Nice nature, I guess. I don't know about people, but I think people are also good. Oh, what is this? What the hell? He published the message. Dr. President Trump. Dr. President Trump, please accept my resignation effective today. During my tenure, I announced 50 major FDA reforms. Joe Biden's FDA had none. I'm extremely proud that we reduced drug review times for year one to 2 months, wrote new guidance to advance psychedelics and to introduced a new plausible mechanism path for the rare disease drugs, and church estrogen labels to tell women the truth about menopausal hormone replacement. It's been an honor for our lifetime to serve as your FDA commissioner. I'm forever grateful. Marty McCurry. Who the fuck is that? These guys can't even announce their forced resignation in private text messages that Trump later posts publicly without doing some Biden whataboutism. Yeah, he's exposing private messages. Is the McDonald's in China otherwise known as screwed? I think there is McDonald's in China. We can cross check if you want. New chat. Is there McDonald's in China? That sounds sincere when you have the threat against your country. Yes, McDonald's is very common in China, especially in big cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Chengdu, etc. In China, it's often called Maidanglao. And you have two stresses in a sentence. Maidanglao. The menu has normal McDonald's items, but also local options like rice dishes, spicy chicken, taro pies, double tea style drinks, and seasonal China-specific items. It's like in Indonesia. They also have rice in McDonald's. Rice. Yeah, rice. China has McDonald's and other USA brands. Yeah, I think Starbucks as well, but they don't have Google because it's the informational stuff. They don't like for China people to be brainwashed by imperialism, capitalism thing, but at the same time they have the rest of the capitalism stuff. Yeah, something like that. Dog nuggets for free, yeah. Putin again today threatened with Oreshnik, by the way. Yes, once again. He said, we are preparing a nuclear arsenal for our carrier Oreshnik, carrier missile. See, very interesting. Carrier missile Oreshnik. NATO Secretary Mark Rutte said July 7th 8th summit in Ankara will focus on putting Ukraine in the strongest possible position and developing the alliance defense industry. Said NATO is now extremely strong and implementing decisions from The Hague. Zelensky said certain countries and the NATO Secretary General Office joint advisor level talks on producing anti-ballistic capabilities in Europe. He said Ukraine is forming anti-ballistic coalition and is now considered closer to results than ever. Zelensky added that Ukraine's position in the front, long-range sanctions, and joint work with partners are at their strongest level in years. Okay. I think Ukraine needs years with the partners to develop anti-ballistic systems. It's not easy to do, but maybe based on SAMT. I'm not sure. Maybe something. Trump said he will do whatever is necessary, then asked whether he plans to visit Russia this year. He claimed he has ended 8 wars and said that Ukraine-Russian war is moving closer to completion, with agreement expected. Yeah, absolutely. What the hell is this? Is this an old video? Ukraine's 475th regiment pushed Russian forces back by 15 kilometers of parts in Zaporizhia front. The unit says advance was enabled by combined drone and artillery strikes, along with armored vehicles adapted to counter UAV. This is an old video. This is an old one. Yeah. It's around 1 month, maybe even more old. This is an attempt of Ukrainian army to move in Dnipropetrovsk direction. It was, let's say, plus minus successful with some of the losses. What the hell is this? A convoy of... Okay. Yep. Some T is able to do that. You're right. Yeah. Never see such a clown as the United States president. Yeah. No more Coca-Cola or Reigns anymore, right? Not sure. I haven't watched your recent video. I changed my opinion on Zelensky. Completely changed my YouTube nickname from Zelensky to Great. Come on, I'm not here to convince anyone. Make you great again. I'm not it's up to people. I don't want to be even that guy. I tell what I think, okay? And also you make cross-check yourself, the information publicly available. That's it. We all have our own opinions, and it just happens that I have my YouTube channel. Bad idea to show more. YouTube gets really angry, but it is nice to have some Russian text translated. What? Do you think Putin will use a small nuke if Ukraine retakes its whole territory? Ukraine will not retake its territory. It's not possible. Let's be realistic. It's not possible. I'm sure Ukraine will get the territories. Yes, but in this case there will be no Putin. So Russian regime collapse, and only after that Ukraine may retake its territories. But before that, no. So there will be no Putin to use nukes, as you say. Yeah. Oh, this guy is evil. This guy is even playing that he's evil. Palantir company that de facto is one of the most powerful in military technological sphere in the United States and in the world. By the way, he visits Ukraine today. This guy, Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is the founder of the Palantir, and Alex Karp is CEO of the company. So he visits Ukraine today. Yeah. Telegram is too off, maybe. Come on, Telegram has auto-translate, it's great. Karp argues that for the free societies of the West to prevail, they need more than just moral superiority. They need hard power. and in this century, this hard power will be based on artificial intelligence. That's what he said. When Putin one day will not be present, do you think that the next leader will be more crazy? Everything might happen. In Russia, everything might happen. Then in Russia tactics fighting is they fight with so many stuff and they keep making more fighting stuff, so it's hard for Ukraine as they don't have so big like Russia. Ukraine is more technologically advanced. Ukraine also has lots of the stuff like drones, so Russians bogged down. What are you talking about? Yeah, Russia has more resources, that's it, but Ukraine is capable to stop them. That's fantastic. Ukraine is in better shape than the last year. Trump, is there understanding between you and Putin that Russia should get all of the Donbass? Trump said, no, there isn't. Reporters, do you have an invitation to come to Russia? Do you think this could happen this year? Trump said, maybe, I'll try to do whatever it's necessary. This war, I've settled 8 wars. Yeah, so the context that he's talking about a trip in the context of the statement. Says it helps, yes, if not, not. And Donny is Donny, he's like unhinged, that's it. They still use ground news for, yeah, just on a stream we checked out some of the articles they post about hantavirus. Still use. I've seen videos from Africans saying how great it is to live and work in Russian factories. Seriously? Ukraine is winning in the battlefield this month. Netto, yes, but I think that still Russia will take more ground in the summer. Ukraine investors in cheap drones is totally changing the game. Yeah. Yeah, Olin. You are correct. I have a new holder for the mic. Whoa, it's really huge. Wah, wah. I have one more mic. I think that the sound from this on this one is more pleasant as for me, no? Or is this the same shit? The arm is crazy big. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How many more years will the war last? No one knows. But maybe many more years. They make the videos to recruit more Africans. Yeah, there is the propaganda. Mike talk, yeah, baby, yeah. Neumann, yeah. It's Neumann. You like a lot of tech, so if you're interested also in drones. Yeah, I think this one is better in a way. It has more highs than, but I don't know. On this channel, I usually use my Shure mic. I think Shure mic is also sounding okay, okay-ish. Have a huge arm. Probably it's good for podcast. You can like put it on one side of the table and talk to the other side of the table. It's really huge arm. This is also like Shure arm. Shure. I don't like that they put stickers like that everywhere, but this is very flexible shit. Flexible shit. The small drones that Ukraine has now is effective to catch those Shahids. Drone interceptors, yeah. The red MAGA heads will soon all be landfills. Nobody will then admit they have voted for Trump. Depends if there's gonna be like some of the whistleblower from the Epstein case releases some of the files, or maybe, I don't know, someone releases those really. There is the proof that I think it's gonna be the final drop for many of the MAGA supporters. The other one is slightly better, more easy to understand. You mean the mic? Like the robot arm. So if there is agree, why does Russia say they're winning? It's Russia. They always say they're winning, even if they're losing. Denys, did your good half read book 1930s drone book? The Ukrainian author. Okay, I don't have time really for that. But thank you for telling. Yes, the mic. Okay, so the other one was more pleasant. I see. I use the other one for the main channel mainly, but sometimes can use this one too. Ever seen UFO? No. What I always liked is the camera you use. The image is so good even in high quality. This is Sony 7C, the first generation even. Now there is the second generation, I have the first one. So Sony cameras, I like them, they're good. Not the best color science. The color science of Fujifilm is better, but Fuji, they don't have full frame cameras. This one is good. I like it. I use it as a web camera, and I also have one more Sony camera. I forgot where I put it, which I used to film outside, and that one is more advanced. But still, this one is the camera is perfect. Before I used just a standard web camera Elgato, and the picture was terrible. Also, the lens is very expensive here. 35mm, I think 1.8 or 1.6 aperture. Really, really nice. We have some of the insights from GTA 6, the game that will be released this year. And there will be violence, dismembering, decapitation, sex, violence, language, all of the stuff. This is like, I don't know how even to stream this game. How to stream that in this case. Like what? Could be like the soft variant for streamers without all of that shit. It's fun to play like that, yeah, of course. But yeah, streaming is not like it's it will not go through this firewall of that censorship. There was a street called Trump Street because all 10 houses had Trump signs in the lawn. Now their houses have for sale sign instead. The lawns are not green anymore either. Wow. It's GTA LOL, yeah, but it's like gonna be unhinged this year. GTA 6 is gonna be unhinged, and the owners of the PlayStations, like if you have PlayStation 4, PlayStation, like any PlayStation account, and you haven't yet got PlayStation 5, PlayStation sends you the message like, if you want to play GTA, you need to get PlayStation 5. It's gonna be interesting to get it on PlayStation. But I think it's like you pay double price. So I'll have it on PC, and I'll have to go to the PlayStation Store and to get their GTA, the same game. Maybe I can get the game on Rockstar official website and play it on cross-platform, yeah? GTA 6 release, no, it's in November. It's soon, very soon. I'm not handling over biometric scans or plot IDs to play GTA. Ivan's don't returns. Do we know how much it will cost? I think it will cost at least. Yeah, I also think at least $100. At least $100, maybe more. Like XQC says, "Oh, that game should cost like $800 for this game." Yeah. But for him, like he's a millionaire, multi-millionaire, maybe already close to billionaire. Of course, for him, it's a piece of cake. Not handling over by. Okay, I read that one. I downloaded the game. It's called Metro 2033. I already made the thumbnail for it even. I know, with the help of ChatGPT, I think for the gaming channel it's okay-ish. I made like the thumbnail. I sent my pic and said like ChatGPT make a thumbnail, so it made like this one. I say I look like too old with those shadows, and it like start to troll me, you know. It misunderstood what I said. I said like I look too old here, and it said like, come on, you can be even older. This is how ChatGPT thinks. Yeah. Okay, I looked up PR 303 just. Okay. I'm waiting for Metro 2039. Looking forward to that one a lot more. Yeah. Deus bounds board outside for the. Yeah, maybe I can try to play Metro 2033 even. Can I do it today? I'm not sure. It's already late time. It's already late time. Okay, let's check out the news. According to reports from numbers of the news outlets, okay. The Islamic Revolution Guard Corps attacking against Kuwait Bubiyan Island was attempted to target United States forces and satellite infrastructure on the island. In the engagement, Kuwaiti forces captured 4 RGC members, which included 2 Guard Naval Captains, a Guard Naval Lieutenant, and Guard Army Lieutenant. Okay. Babian Island. It's kind of interesting. When the attack happened today, was in Defender. Controls citing both Iranian and Western officials. Saudi Arabian air forces conducted retaliatory strikes on Iran, following Iran strikes on their oil, civilian and military infrastructure in late March. Okay, that's a long time ago. President Trump boards Air Force One and he leaves for his trip to Beijing. Okay. President Trump is now taken off from the White House to join their base. I wonder if he is out there on flight radar, if his plane appeared. should appear, right? Or no? No, still people are following this bird. B1. Trump plane is not available. Just play gaming like a good old childhood days. Yeah, but I wanted to film some of the videos today. I want to film one more Ukrainian update, like I usually do, like a late. So if there are some of the news happening, of course. If there are no news, I don't know what to say about. By the way, today is Jake Bro will publish the video. Yeah, he publishes day after day. But Trump, we won't be seeing him ever again. He's gone back to China where he was made. This is funny. I wonder what it's gonna be in China. Maybe I'll film the video about it. Trump's visit to China. Wow. Any chance China will just kidnap him? I don't think it's possible, really. Right, I guess it was like 2 hours, kind of like I feel a little bit exhausted. I don't know why for the stream. Maybe don't have the mood for it, or maybe I'm gonna later on restart the stream about not just chatting, but something like gameplay, Metro 2033, something like that. I never played that game, so yeah. Can 77 drop more poop than F16? Yes, it can. See you soon, guys, and yeah, you're the best. And separate thanks for the supporters of the stream. We have Richard, we have Taylor, thank you, and Swain, of course. Thank you so much, guys. See you around. Ciao, ciao.